Hey everybody, Eric Eisenbud here, the Grateful Chef. We are live on Facebook, and I want to say that this is Christmas Day 2019, and whatever holiday you celebrate, I hope you've had a joyful and delicious holiday season with your friends and family, and I know that I sure have, and it's been awesome. And you know, gifts, we all receive beautiful gifts, and I too have received the beautiful gift of the SteakAger Pro 40, and I'm really excited today because today is load-in day. Load-in day for my Pro 40, and I couldn't be more excited. Hats off to Scott Coburn and Ryan Vick over there at SteakAger. Job well done. I like what I've seen with the charcuterie model, and I'm excited now to have the Pro 40 single mode, so I could do dry aging in the charcuterie model, the dual mode. But I got another Pro 40 single mode, just dry aging, so now I can do charcuterie and dry aging at the same time, which you can't do in the dual mode model. You do one or the other. So I'm really super excited to kind of get back into the dry aging game. It's been a little while since I have worked with large subprimal cuts of meat, and I'm super excited. So we're going to get started. Let me show you what I have here. One of the greatest things about this season is the amazing sales that are everywhere on subprimals or roasts, you know, but you can go to your butcher at the supermarket or wherever you're buying them, and you can ask them for the whole thing. And when you do, you want to ask them to give it to you in the cryovac bag. Now, I have to tell you that most butchers that are working in supermarket atmospheres, they're just kind of putting the meat out there. People are just buying it, whatever. They love when someone approaches them and talks shop with them about meat other than, oh, can you cut it 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch. They love to talk about when they find out that you're dry aging, they love to engage in conversation. So I want you not to hesitate to forge that relationship with your butcher, no matter if you're buying it on sale, if you're buying it at regular price, or if you're buying it from a high-end butcher. Get that relationship going and ask for exactly what you want. And what is it exactly that we want? Well, a couple of key factors. We want a nice fat cap. So let me take a step back. Right here we have a prime New York strip, and we have a choice ribeye. Full subprimals. Now, so I asked the butcher to please bring me out, if I'm not happy with the ones that he already has out there, I asked them, please, can you bring me out 4 or 5 of them that I can choose from? Because I'm dry aging, I have to be a little more particular. I need a fat cap that's not compromised. You know, I want bone in or not. You know, we want exactly what we want, so we have to be willing to ask for it. And please don't hesitate. Don't hesitate. So, yes, Lynn.
Introduce me. I keep saying hi on all the pages.
Oh, okay. So the person who is responding to all the messages and hellos and all that is Lynn. She is the camera woman, the producer of my weekly Facebook Live show, Cooking with the Grateful Chef, Eric Eisenbud. That's me. It's on Wednesday nights on my group, the Grateful Chef with Eric Eisenbud Facebook group. So she is also the wind beneath my wings, without whom this could not be possible. So say hello to Lynn, everybody. And again, I'm Eric Eisenbud. Glad you guys have joined us.
And you're live, so please.
Yeah, this is live. We are doing real live cooking here, or in this case, meat prep and load-in of the Pro 40 SteakAger. So yeah, feel free to ask any questions as we go along. So back to the meat. So I have here, I bought this at Fresh Market. Not sure if you have a Fresh Market near you. I know they're pretty sure they're a national chain. We have one very close to our house. They had prime New York strip, $7.99 a pound. So I bought one. Now let me tell you, I'm super happy with it. I mean, you can see some beautiful marbling here. I'm going to show you guys close up. All right.
Sorry, guys.
So that's a beautiful prime New York strip. And yes, you see how thin it is. We're going to address that. Very thin. I asked them to find me one that's, you know, as thick as possible. And then I went to ShopRite, which is a local, I think it's regional here in the Northeast, and they had the choice ribeyes. You could buy the Angus, you could buy this, and this was $4.99 a pound. Beautiful, and you know what? I looked to see, because sometimes there's choice that is approaching prime, and I think that's what I got. So for $4.99 a pound, I got this 20.34 pound bone-in ribeye that's pretty nicely marbled, so I couldn't be happier. Nice fat cap. Yeah, it's beautiful. I love it. Fantastic. So I'm very excited to be able to hang these in my Pro 40, but we need to prepare them first. So I'm going to move this bone-in ribeye out of the way so we can concentrate on what I consider to be the easier one, and I'll tell you why. All right, so there's no bones. It's a little bit smaller, easier to handle. So we have options. All right. I buy this at Restaurant Depot. Not everyone has access, but you can probably find them online. This spool lasts me forever and ever and ever, and it is real heavy-duty butcher's twine. I love it on the spool. So we could go that route. But for a New York strip, and you know, some people say, oh, do you have to tie it? You know what, I prefer to tie it, because what's going to happen is, I want you to get a close-up of this, Lynn. See, we've got this relatively flat cut. It's, you know, incumbent of a New York strip. That's just the way it is. What's going to happen as it loses moisture, it's going to even shrink even more. So you're going to end up with steaks like this thick, you know? So you don't want that. So as Lynn zooms back out, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about these. Personal favorite of mine. I buy these on a very popular online retailer, right? This is called Butcher's Code Cooking Ties. What's cool about these, they're already tied into knots, and they are elastic. So these are super easy. So what's going to happen is we're going to tie this up, and that meat, instead of being a little flat cut like this, is going to plump up like that. It's going to give you a little more even dry age, and your steaks may be shorter this way, but they're going to be fatter and more enjoyable. So you'll be able to cut nice steaks. So since I'm going to be hanging them in my Pro 40, the first thing I want to do is I want to address how am I going to hang it. So yeah, you can stick the hook through if you want. I'm going to not do that. So I'm going to take my butcher's twine like this, and I'm going to do a first wrap. And I don't know if you want to zoom in on this, if you can, Lynn.
Yep.
I'm going to do a double loop. All right. So I'm just simply doing the old dental floss thing, flipping it around like this, and I am going to hang it heavy side down. So this side is a little bit thicker than this side. So I'm going to pull it through. I'm going to do another loop. And this is before I do my horizontal ones. And I don't want to do this too tight because the meat is soft at this point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off the spool, and I want to create a loop. All right. I've got one piece here, and this is a little bit more than I need, so I'm going to cut that off. And this is where I want to create my loop. So I'm going to tie it and try and get a little bit even. And again, you know what? This is not a butchery contest. None of us do this every single day, so we may not be as proficient as a professional butcher. I'm going to bet we won't be.
No, Bobby's out there watching.
Oh, Bobby Thomas is there?
Uh-huh.
Oh, boy.
So, our professional butcher.
Yes, Bobby is a SteakAger fan and professional butcher. All right, so what I did was I kind of evened these up. So I'm going to tie it close to the roast. And typically when I'm using butcher's twine, I won't just like wrap once. I will do it like 3 times. This way, when you pull it tight, it'll stay. Okay, so I've got it close to the roast, and then I'm just going to do a loop right here. And if you want to make it right in the center of the roast, you can, just like so. And I'm going to make a not a slip knot. Boy, I forgot my Boy Scout days. Whatever kind of knot this is. Square knot. There you go. It's a square knot. All right. So I'm going to tie it like that. And this is how we're going to hang it. Maybe do another little knot here. And that, my friends, is how I'm going to hang it. And I'll cut off the extra. Make it nice and tidy. All right, so this will go into my ager. Looks like hopefully once I've got the oh, my knot came undone. That's what happened. All right, let's try this again. Again, it's my first time tying a roast like this to hang, because my previous experience has been on a shelf.
Does it matter that it's cutting into the bottom like that?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. All right. You know what, guys? First time here, so it's all good. We're not going to stress.
Nope. And I see Scott Coburn's out there watching.
Hey, Scotty. Any tips? Feel free to fire away. All right.
After you say that, now I'm afraid to leave this page. So we are broadcasting to 5 different pages, so I'm just flipping back and forth.
All right, guys. This may or may not work. We're going to have to see. Now what I'm doing is I'm taking those elastic ties. Real simple. I'm going to double loop, if I can, and I'm going to slip it on. And it's interesting because I'm finding the meat here from the one I got at Fresh Market a little bit softer than typical. All right. We're going to go like this. Try a single knot. Hello. Single knot. Yeah, and that's nice. That is not cutting into the meat at all. So we're going with a single knot. And again, we're just going to go, I don't know, every inch or so. Make it look pretty.
Scott Richards is out there.
Nice.
Hey, Scott. Mark Stephenson, he said earlier that he got two primals, 4 in total, 2 bone-in, 2 boneless.
Nice.
And I saw on another page, and I don't remember his name, but they just ordered 4 pounds of dry aged beef, and I think it cost them $300.
Wow.
Yeah.
For 4 pounds of dry aged beef?
I need to flip back to the page. I just need to find his comment.
Because think about what we're doing here. This cost $90 and oh, I forget what this one. This was again about $100, so under $200, and I'm getting 11 plus 20, 31 pounds. We'll have a little shrinkage, of course. So I'm getting, we'll call it 25 to 28 pounds.
Yeah, so this was Robert Stansel, and confirmed. It was 4 pounds, $300. They got it at Lobel's.
Oh, yeah.
Just, I'm sure it's going to be delicious. But.
Me too. So, yeah, I'm a little concerned about it cutting into this roast like that. This meat seems a lot softer than regular meat. And let's see if I'm going to be able to hang this. If not, we're going to have to make a different choice. Yeah, so it's cutting in. I'm not real happy about that. Mr. Bobby Thomas, if you can offer us any input, that would be well received. All right, this is going to the side. We're going to the ribeye.
So I say Guys, we need tips. So I've got dry aged steak on us there. So I don't know if it's Scott or if it's Ryan, but one of you guys need to give us a tip on the cutting into the bottom.
All right. This one, I know that these elastic ties aren't big enough, so we're going right to manual mode. And what I'm going to do this time is I'm not going to do that horizontal first. I'm going to go right to tying it. Now, some people say, oh, you don't have to tie a bone in ribeye because you got the support of the bone. You know what? I still like to tie it. So, because for aesthetics, if only for aesthetics.
And that's really just, again, to keep the shape?
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep the shape. All right, so I'm going to try it this way. And we're going to do a series of ties like that. Again, not too tight. You tie it like this. And I know practice makes perfect, but if you do it and then you don't do it for another 45 or 50 days, it's hard to get proficient at it. So you just got to keep trying, and also know that it's never that serious. All right. So now you go around like this, loop it, slide it, and tighten it. Around like this, loop it, ratchet it. I'm going to cut off as much string as I think I need. Just like that. All right, so I wanted to mention, let's talk about the bone-in ribeyes in particular, because sometimes you will find a bone-in ribeye and it'll be already tied at the butcher, and it will not be in the cryovac. You want this in the cryovac package, because what a lot of times what will happen is the butcher will cut the bones off and then reattach the bones with butcher's twine, because it makes the roast easier for their customers to slice. Now, we do not want that. We appreciate their efforts to make our lives easier, but we're doing something different, so we want to make sure that we do not have the roast with the bones tied in, because that can leave a little void area that could grow, because it won't be exposed to the air that's blowing around in the SteakAger and the UV light. So we want to make sure, and you know, that could grow mold or bacteria or whatever in there. We don't want that. So we want to make sure that that we have a piece completely intact as they received it from their supplier.
So as you're tying that up, there's a question. What's the difference between the SteakAger Pro and the SteakAger Pro International?
It is, the only difference is the power source. So they're the same, but we have the International that comes with, I believe, a converter to convert to international standards, non-US electrical standards, as far as power supply goes. You know, so when you travel to Europe, you can't go there without having a converter to convert our appliances to their plugs.
That's a much better view.
Is it? Good. Again, so I'm not ratcheting it too tight, doing a loop, going around, sliding it under.
And Scott said this looks like the perfect truss. But Scott, our question is going to be on the
yeah, I think I'm going to have to redo the New York strip, because I'm really not happy with the way it's cutting into the meat. This has got a little bit more stability from, you know, because it does have bones. And again, that the meat that I bought at the fresh market, and I don't know why, it seems to be very soft. So we're just working our way through this. I know it could be boring, not making for great TV, but this is what we got to do in order to prep the meat. I'm going to run out.
Can you tie a little extra one onto it?
Yeah, of course. Maybe I'll make it. And listen, if you can't do exactly what I'm doing, you certainly can do individual loops, and not worry about it. So let me add a little bit of twine. Well, I'll tell you, I'd love to be able to take a butchery class, get a little bit more proficient in this. Let's see. Bobby Thomas must be laughing right now.
Maybe.
Maybe. Awesome. What? Are you laughing at me now?
No. My sister is messaging me.
Okay, good. So now we've got it. I added a little bit of string to it. Let's do it. Sorry if that's a little loud, guys.
Here we go. So from Dry Age Steak. So thank you guys. The International has the option of adding a power source allowing the unit to be used anywhere on Earth, regardless of...
Nice.
Sorry, I just lost my place. Anywhere on Earth, regardless of power available. We use the same company that the U.S. government uses for people that travel abroad.
Fantastic. That's high level. All right, so you know what, guys? Since this has the bone and it's a little bit more stable, and I'm not worried about it cutting, and I think maybe it's because the flexibility of the New York strip, so when it hangs, it kind of pulls up on it, and that is a problem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tie this the way I did that New York strip. I'm going to just go around and do this vertical tie, and I think we're going to be okay with this one, and then we'll go revisit that one. We're going to learn together. That's what we do in the Grateful Chef kitchen, because I am never one to claim that I know everything there is to know about cooking and food. So I'm always open to suggestions. All right. Yes. Beautiful. So I think I've got enough to go around again. That's what I'm going to do. Go right across this fat cap. Not a concern. Now we're going to make our final loop. Just like this. So anyone on the Grateful Chef group that is watching, I say hello to you and happy holidays to you and your families. And how I wanted to let you know how it warms my heart, the number of people that have cooked my recipes for their families and had great result. So thank you, guys. Thank you.
Okay, so back to the New York strip. We have Jeff Griesler. He says, seems like if you run the twine in 3 spots, starting on either side and ending in the middle, it would displace the tension more evenly.
Okay.
So maybe you could even just leave the 3 that are there.
Yep.
And just add 2 others, maybe?
All right, we're going to see.
I don't know.
I'm tying a little bit more string on this little pigtail here so I can make a nice loop. So again, I'm going to tie it close to the roast. I know it's hard to see at this angle, but how about if I turn it? Nice. So yes, we're going to tie it. Like so. Got another loop on here.
back to dry aged steak. They said, oh, and we're still talking about the International, Pro 40 International. Oh, and important to note that a refrigerator needs a special power source due to loads and cycling. So our power source is refrigeration rated, and it can power 2 Pro 40s. We couldn't find a small yet.
Oh.
Well, that's pretty cool.
That is cool. All right, so this is going to be my loop that I'm going to hang it from. Cut off the excess. And I want to go with another knot. Very nice. All right, so I feel much more confident about this one.
Can you show me the knot real close?
Yep, it's just a regular, plain old knot. All right, so now this is going to hang beautifully.
All right.
Just like that.
Are you going to hang it now?
Yeah, let's go hang it in there. Oops. Wondering if I need a little more tension on that. Nope, we're going to try it. All right, so we're walking over to the Pro 40. You got it all, honey?
No. All right, now I do.
All right, so here is the SteakAger Tower of Power. So I have on below, and you can see there's charcuterie in there, the Pro 40 dual mode unit.
Sorry.
And then above.
Sorry, camera mishap.
What happened?
My thumb hit the screen.
Oh. And then above, we have the single mode Pro 40. And this is going to go in. And I'm hanging this directly from the arms that are provided as part of the head unit. And I want to not go so far back that it touches anything in the back, like this shelf here. So I just got to keep adjusting it until it is hanging freely. Very nice.
Sorry, I just keep getting pictures of your head.
Oh,
sorry.
Very nice. All right, what I decided I'm going to do, I'm going to move it to this one. And this is trial and error, folks.
So there's just a little hook in there.
Yep. I just want to make sure that it's not touching anywhere.
And that's a big hunk of meat.
This is a big hunk of meat. All right. Let me go back a little more because the door. All right, and if I have to make an adjustment, I will make an adjustment. And that one's in.
Let me go in. So, I don't know if I can see something. The whole hook up there.
It's a beautiful thing. Fantastic. I may change that up once I get the other one in. Let's go back to the cutting board and go with this guy because I don't know. I'm very unhappy with it. I'll tell you what I'm going to probably do. I may try. Should I try the hook in the meat?
You could do that. Well, why don't we try what the one guy recommended? Or tying it in 3 places.
Oh, I already cut it.
That's all right. You have more string.
Yes, I do. Yeah, I'm just unhappy with it. It's almost wasting an entire steak.
Yeah, so he suggested starting on either end rather than in the middle.
Okay.
So start on the sides and then middle last.
All right. That's what we're going to do. Take the recommendation of a pro.
Or
someone who's got experience.
I don't know. He may or may not.
All right.
And stop throwing.
Here we go. Going on the side, what has been suggested. And then I'm going to do on the other side.
And we have Nicholas Johnson with us.
Hey, Nick.
He thought you were out here by yourself, but I think that's because I was screwing around with the camera.
All right, I got one on that side. We're going to do this one. On this side. I'm not so sure.
I'm surprised that the meat's so soft, though.
Yeah, I've used a lot of meat, and this meat's pretty darn soft.
So, well, last resort, cook it.
All right, so I've got 3 now. What I want to do is somehow put a loop through all 3. I'm going to spin this around.
I'm going to come over here.
Let's see what happens now. So I'm going to make my loop right here. I think this is going to work.
It's definitely not cutting in as much on the bottom.
All right.
I guess we'll see what it looks like.
Live and learn.
What it looks like when we're done aging.
Yeah. Now that is much better, but you're going to have a little curve. Let's see. Now I'm getting fancy.
What are you doing?
I'm going to tie one close up here so it will kind of not pull so much. You know.
Alright, so you're tying one at the top so it doesn't pull as much, and
Yeah.
is that so it doesn't curve as much?
Yeah.
Alright.
And you know what? It may curve. And I think I'm going to try one down here. Towards the bottom. A little tighter. Yeah, this isn't going to look pretty, but sure is going to taste good.
Oh yeah. And then I'll be curious what it's like when you cut off pellicle.
Yeah. All right. All right. A little bit better. All right, we're going in. Let's go in, babe.
Alrighty. Spin in the kitchen.
Here we go. Now, you don't want these roasts to touch each other. And you don't want the roast to touch any part of the SteakAger. So, yeah, this is going to require a little finagling. What I may do is add a hook to lower this one down. If I can do that. These hooks come with the SteakAger. All right, that's better. Kind of liking the hook.
Wow.
And there we go.
That looks awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to monitor it, maybe make some final adjustments. However, as you can see, we are having fun here in the Grateful Chef kitchen, always learning, never at the point where I think I know it all. And I'm happy to learn, because that's how you get proficient. So anyway, I want to say thanks to everybody for joining me in this struggle to figure out how to properly tie a subprimal, or two subprimals in this case, and load up our Pro 40 SteakAger. So be well, eat well, always remain teachable, love each other because we're all we have. And we're going to see you on the next Grateful Chef video. Peace.